choir, and welcome to episode 6 of Choir at Home. You'll know by now how these hymn tutorials work. We kick off with a question and answer session, so fingers ready on the pause button. I then take you through the music, not just the melody line, but also the harmony parts. The episode then ends with a sing-along, a chance to sing the whole hymn all the way through. So, on with the question and answer session. So question 1, on which day of the year do we sing this hymn? So, this hymn is sung on Palm Sunday, which is, of course, this Sunday. Question number 2, how long before Easter is Palm Sunday? Palm Sunday and Easter Sunday are both Sundays. There's a lot in a name. And Palm Sunday is the week before Easter Sunday, so they are 7 days apart. Question number 3. Like most Christian feast days, Palm Sunday commemorates a particular event as described in the Bible, in this case the triumphal entry of Jesus into Jerusalem. So question 3 is, where in the Bible would I find this account, this Palm Sunday account? Would I find it in the Old Testament or the New Testament? So we'd find this account of the triumphal entry of Jesus into Jerusalem in the New Testament, more specifically in the Gospels. A good rule of thumb is that if Jesus is in the story, or if it's after Jesus, so about the early church and all that sort of stuff, it's in the New Testament. Anything before the life and ministry of Jesus is in the Old Testament. So Palm Sunday is recorded for us in the New Testament. Question number 4. So we've covered the liturgical and textual context of this hymn. So we'll ask about the musical context. So question 4 is, what type of melody is this? So this is a chorale. It is a chorale tune. Our hymn book is full of melodies from different sources, from folk songs to plain chants to metrical psalms, and of course a lot of chorales. So question 5 is, where do we get chorales from? Which Christian denomination sings chorales? So, chorales come from the Lutheran tradition, these early Protestants. So the answer is Lutheran. That's why they're often called Lutheran chorales. Question 6, on to the music itself. What is the time signature of this hymn? Hymn books don't normally have their time signatures written out, but we can work out the time signature by just looking at a typical bar. So if you look, for example, the bar with Majesty in it, you'll see that has 4 minims in it. So the top number will be 4, because there are 4 beats in a bar. And to show that we're measuring in minims, the bottom number will be 2. So the time signature is 4-2. What key are we in is question 7. So to work out which key we're in, we look at the key signature, and you will see that there are 2 flats. A B flat, every good boy, and an E flat, face in the space, F-A-C-E. To work out the major key from a key signature, you take the penultimate flat, so not the last one, reading left to right, but the one before that. So in this case, the penultimate flat is a B flat. So this is B flat major. Look at the ends of each of the lines for question 8. You'll see there's this sort of bird's eye looking symbol. So my question is, for question 8, what is this bird's eye symbol? What is it called and what does it mean? So this symbol is called a fermata, and it basically just means a pause. And this isn't a pause that's sort of dictated exactly by the composer. Rather, it's the kind of pause that can be decided by a performer or for ensembles by the conductor. You'll see at the end of the first line, I've recommended 2+1, so holding that note on for 2 and then breathing for 1 beat. And between the verses, 3+2. So these symbols are called fermatas and they mean pause. Question number 9. How many parts are there? So if you read not left to right, but down on the page, you will see that there are 4 parts. There are 2 parts on the upper stave and 2 parts on the lower stave. So this is a 4-part setting, very traditional, of this hymn. So question 10 is name all the parts. So the parts from top to bottom are called soprano, so stems up on the upper stave. Then alto, stems down on the upper stave. Then tenor, stems up on the lower stave. And then right at the bottom, bass, stems down on the lower stave. So soprano, alto, tenor, bass, often abbreviated as SATB. In addition, sopranos, it's traditional if the soprano line is being sung by choristers, by children, it's called the treble line rather than the soprano line. Soprano normally refers to an adult woman. So question 11, the last question, you'll see next to some of the verses I've written U and H. So what does that mean? So U and H are abbreviations of unison and harmony. As is traditional, we will sing the first and the last verse in unison. That's with all parts, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, singing the melody line. For the middle verses, we are singing in harmony, hence the H. So all the 4 parts sing their different lines. Excellent, guys. That is enough question and answer for today. We're now going to move on to learning the notes. So I'm going to go to the piano and I'm going to do 4 things. First, I'm going to play just the melody line with a bass line. Then I'm just going to highlight the alto line with the bass line. Then I'm going to highlight the tenor line. Again, all with the bass line. So basses, you can listen to all of them. After that, I will play all the parts together. Listen to this as many or as few times as you need to get comfortable with your part. You can listen a few times. After that, you can hum along. You can sing along to Oh My, or make up your own 8-syllable sentence to sing along to. And after that, have a look through the words as well. So, here are the parts in order. So now that we've familiarised our minds and our voices with this hymn, it's time to sing it all the way through. So after a brief playover, please join in with me as we sing Ride On in Majesty, our introit hymn for Palm Sunday.